Just as he had done at round 1 at Wanganui and round 2 in Gisborne, Simon Campbell was too good for the rest of the Scott Waterjet International Group A field. He was just over a second faster than his rivals at round 1 in Wanganui and at Gisborne. We travel now to Meremere for round number 3. Quick look at the points says that Simon Campbell is leading on 60. In second place it is Baden Gray on 57. Third place is Red Smith, also on 57. And then it's Richard Murray, Andrew Guthrie, Blake Bryant, Bevan Muir, the defending champion, down on 42. Meremere was a different kettle of fish from what we'd seen at Wanganui and Gisborne, but once again it was Simon Campbell setting the pace, but it didn't go according to plan. This crash not only taking Campbell and the co-pilot out of the competition, but also out of the championship. Have a look as you ride with him here. He just skips the side of an island here at Meremere. It's a very fast course. The boat heads for the sky, and the impact causing severe problems for Simon Campbell's back. You'll see why from this outside shot. You're watching Oh Picky Spud. Just clips the side of the island, rides up over the next one, and then it's a huge, heavy impact on the rear of the boat, and Simon Campbell taken from his boat by ambulance and in some real pain. And unfortunately for Simon, that was the end of his championship campaign. So this is round 3 at Meremere, and this is Bulletigate. Lee Gibbard and Joe Bayliss, they were 12th overall with a best time of 102.1. In 11th place, still having the new boat blues, Shane Wood and Hamish Riddell, their best time of a 56.326, good enough to finish just outside the top 10. In 10th place was Richard Murray and Kirsty Manning. Not quite the performance we saw at Wanganui. They had their problems as well here at Meremere. So we found the top 8 in Scott Waterjet Group A, and Bevan Muir, the New Zealand champion, on top with that 54.76. Sam Newdick chasing him hard, right in the 50s, along with Red Smith, and Blake Bryant is the 4th competitor. Baden Gray, well, he's had a tough time of it. He's about a second off the pace of his teammate, but he's got a chance now to redeem that as we ride on board here with Baden Gray and Tanya Ironmonger. Top 8, Scott Waterjet Group A. Baden's got to do something special here, Jamie.
He's got a little bit of time to find. His previous best was a 51.28 in the top 12 to get him into the 8. Always a tricky rotation here at Meremere.
Well, it's got a bit of everything, hasn't it? It's fast, very fast in places, and as you mentioned, got some really tricky corners down towards the Glassborough Arch, and we'll get a split time very shortly for Baden Gray just to see what he's doing. 28.88.
Well, that's pretty quick. That's probably a good half a second quicker than what he did getting him into the 8 out of the 12. So this is a pretty quick, solid run from Baden Gray and Ten Tools Racing.
And you can hear the throttle note hardly ever changes. He just got off it a little bit there as he negotiated the difficult island.
Very
quick. That's a huge improvement.
50.0 for Baden Gray.
So he throws down the gauntlet now to Mark Newdick.
Good to see Mark Newdick in the 8. That's a good effort for him in Daiwa Electronics.
Yeah, Ollie Silverton and Mark, they share this boat, of course, with Sam, his son, and Nick McIndoe, but they have been going well here at Meremere.
Yeah, they still do need to find a little bit of time, and they're up against it. Just making some mistakes, and it continues on.
It's a wild old ride. I guess
That's game over.
Oh, well, I guess the best part of that was that Sam will get the boat in pretty good condition. This is Blake Bryant and John O'Randall, and Blake's had a bit of high-class help here today. They've been chasing an oil surge problem with Marsh Motorsport. They've had problems over the last few rounds. They think they're onto it now, but Blake's got his dad, Peter, with him, many-time world champion. He's helping him out, doing some driving as well. Says he's loving the chance to get back into the competition.
Well, it's a very, very good boat. So split to beat at 28.88 set by Baden Gray, but that was a very quick split, 28.90. He's not far away.
He's not far away, but he's not quite there. And this rotation is you've got to have, like negative splits. You've got to bring it home fast if you want a really good time, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. You're riding on board here with Blake Bryant. John O'Randall's hand you can see in the shot. He's the navigator.
Yeah, well, he did a 51.2. That matched Baden Gray's time in the 12. This is quick.
51.224. It matches his time. Now, heading into this round at Meremere, there was a chance for some of the jet sprinters to share their experience with some of the team from Nitro Circus. Travis Pastrana had a go, so too did Street Bike Tommy. They enjoyed it, but some of the boats came away battered and bruised. Mark Shurtleff explains. Now, tell us about the autographs on the front of the boat, because this is something a little bit special.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we had a day at Wanganui with the Nitro Circus guys, and we took a number of them out. A couple of them drove our boat. Choco, the other owner of the boat, he sort of had his season in one day. And no, it was great. They had a couple of crashes, and we're sort of suffering a little bit of an issue on that today. It's a water leak, but I think we'll get through the day.
Well, this is Mark Shurtleff and Greg Fuge. Bling It On is the boat. You heard him say he co-owns it with Gary Choco Smith. Well, Choco's taken this boat to a top 4 position in Group A, but now it's Mark's turn to strut his stuff here at Meremere, and he's been going fairly well. Jamie went well at the previous rounds as well. Maybe this is Mark Shurtleff's season.
Yeah, they are ever improving. They've been down in the 57s in the top 12 to get them into the 8, so they're definitely going to need to find some time to be on that sort of 52nd pace from the likes of Sam Newdick and Reg Smith. But he'll be enjoying himself out there, and I know they enjoyed themselves with the Nitro Circus boys. 32.4. He's a little bit down on the split, so needs to have a pretty remarkable second half of this lap to really get into contention to make the top 5.
Yeah, that's right. And they just look a little bit uncertain. The boat, they're just on and off the throttle. The boat, nose up, nose down. It's not quite sitting on the water properly. Maybe it's a hangover from the damage that was done by the Nitro Circus boys. You heard Mark say they had a bit of a water leak. Down to the finish line now, 56.77. That's their best run of the day. Andrew Guthrie and Janine Ingram. Rotorworks is the boat. Away they go. Another one that's having a very good start to the 2011 season.
Now, they've been in the 52s. 52.1's been their best lap of the day so far. Sprintec Hull.
Well, they'll be looking for an improvement here if they want to stay with the front runners. Remember, from this, we'll cut them to 5, and then there'll be 3, and that will be the grand final. We've mentioned it before. You've got to get this course just absolutely dead right. Those shelves are just hidden under the water's surface.
There's the split, 29.29. So he's about half a second down on Baden Gray's split, who's certainly been the pace setter here in the top 8 run. This boat sounds really, really crisp. It's pulling some serious RPM.
It really does, and it looks like it's doing the job on the water as well. Look at the way it just changes direction so quickly.
Looking for his fastest time of the day. He does, 51.20.
Reg and Julie Smith next to go. The boat is Glass Pro. They go under the Glass Pro arch and start their next run. They've been quick as well in the 50s. And that's what it's going to take to get into the final 3, and that's what Reggie's looking for. He's had a very consistent season. Hasn't had a win yet. Maybe Meremere will be his day.
Time to beat a 56 set by Mark Shurtleff. So Shurtleff is sitting on the bubble. Smith's best lap has been down in the 50s, a 50.838 in qualifying session 4.
Well, you can see how easy it is to throw all that good work away. Have a look at the split, 29.30, so he's well up on Mark Shurtleff. So Shurtleff's going to be worried. I was going to say how easy it is to throw all your good work away, because he got very close to doing that on that previous rotation. The boat virtually came right out of the water.
Yes, split was just a shade down on Andrew Guthrie, and again about a half a second down on Baden Gray. Split takes it to the line, 50.89, his best run of the day.
Well, this will be the interesting one. What can Bevan Muir do? His teammate has set the pace in this, the top 8 round. He's done that 50.046. What can Bevan and Kathy Barker do? You ride with them here. You can see Kathy just urging her driver on.
So Mark Shurtleff is now out of the 5. He will be on the trailer. Andrew Guthrie now sitting on the bubble.
And look how close Bevan Muir's cutting those islands. It's the only time the throttle comes off the floor. You can see that from the onboard shot.
There's the split, 28.45. He's 4/10 up on Baden Gray's, and he's well up on Andrew Guthrie.
Well, he needs a good run here, doesn't he? Because he had a bit of misfortune at the previous rounds. A couple of navigational errors maybe cost his championship title defence, but this is a stunning run, 49.576. What a brilliant time from Bevan Muir. Now, what can this guy do? Sam Newdick, Ollie McIndoe, been in the 50s before. You're going to have to go faster than that if they want to challenge Bevan Muir. And these guys are the team that could do it, Jamie.
Well, they've been pretty quick all day, but Bevan Muir's just set the first 49-second lap of the weekend. So To date, Sam Newdick's fastest lap was a 50.69 set in qualifying session 4. They dropped 2 tenths in the 12 to get him into the 8, but there's the split, 28.39. He is up on Bevan Muir, but only just, and it's now Blake Bryant, I think, sitting on the bubble.
Time to beat there, the 51.224 of Blake Bryant. Sam Newdick should do that. Wet Dreams Racing is the boat. It's a brand new boat this season for the father and son combination. They double drive this boat. Mark had problems. No problems at all for Sam, though. Another 49-second run. So 2 in the 49s as we cut them from 8 to 5. It'll be Bevan Muir, Sam Newdick, Baden Gray, Reg Smith, Andrew Guthrie. We saw a close one at Gisborne. Couldn't be any closer here at Meremere. 49 seconds, you and Sam.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Jeez. Yeah, no, good on them. You know, they've worked hard on the boat. They've really done it right. They've prepared it all right. So, and we always knew when Sam come back, it'll be a big one.
I thought I'd better step it up a notch when I saw Baden's run. He was in the 50 mark, or low 50s, and I thought, I might need to step it up here. And there's a few airy moments. So if we tidy things up, it could be even better, hopefully.
So we move into the top 5. Remember the new combinations here this year. 5 and then 3 in the final. And this is Baden Gray. Joined in commentary once again by Jamie McCarthy. And Jamie, well, aside from the demise of Simon Campbell, it has been a slick operation here at Meremere.
It's been a fantastic weekend, and probably the biggest surprise about Campbell, we saw him in the first 2 rounds dominating by more than a second through to the finals. He was actually not on the front running pace. He was a good half a second to 3/4 of a second down on the likes of Sam Newdick.
Well, that's probably good news for his opposition because everyone was scratching their head. Baden Gray does a 28.90 at the split, so he sets the benchmark in the 5. And that's uncharacteristic as well, Jamie, because normally we're used to Teng Tools Racing battling out 1 and 2.
Yeah, certainly it's very, very competitive in the Scott Waterjet Group A category. 51.28 has been Baden Gray's best up until this point. Current 2 NZ in Teng Tools Racing.
Always improved on that. 50.035. Well, this man is having a fantastic season in 2011. This is Andrew Guthrie. Sitting alongside him, it is Janine Ingram. And she has got her work to do here because this is a difficult rotation. It's fast, it's blisteringly fast in places, but it's also very tight and testing in others.
Andrew Guthrie in the Rotorworks Sprint Tech, just clipping the bank. And the water seems to be pretty shallow here compared to the likes of the previous 2 rounds at Wanganui and Gisborne. There is no room for error.
Well, there isn't, and we saw with Simon Campbell's accident that when you do make a mistake, you normally pay for it big time.
So Andrew Guthrie to the split at 29.28. He's about 3 tenths down on Baden Gray's.
Just look at the way he's throwing this boat around. It's sitting perfectly on the water, nice flat trajectory of the boat, but man, he is really ringing it out here. Look at that! Oh, how close was he from putting it in orbit?
Well, he's trying out. He's using all of the course. 52.12 was his previous best. He's going to go out beyond that with a 52.5.
So Baden Gray, the quickest so far with a 50.035. Andrew Guthrie, that 52.5. What can Reg and Julie Smith do about it? This is Glass Pro. This is Reggie and his wife Julie. And he is there or thereabouts in the championship, and he's a wily old fox, Reg. He won't want to be showing his cards too early, but he certainly will want to get maximum points here at Meremere.
How spectacular was that previous lap from Andrew Guthrie? He left it all out there on the water. It may not have been quick, but boy, it was spectacular.
And, you know, we talked about it before, Jamie. That's the Jekyll and Hyde nature of these guys. Andrew Guthrie doesn't look like he'd say boo to a goose, but get him in one of these Jetsprint boats and he just grows 2 more legs. Forget 1.
29.01 the split for Reg Smith, so he's a 10th down on Baden Gray and a 10th up on Andrew Guthrie.
One thing Reggie can do is he can bring it home hard. Oh, and he gets very close to the island as well. This is a course that you just can't afford to have a slight mistake.
Reg has been in the 50.8 second range over the last couple of runs. Another 50, and it's another 50.8.
Well, if we have a look at the leaderboard, Baden Gray stays on top with that 50.035. 50.81, matey, is that going to be good enough?
I don't know, it's probably looking at 4th, Phil. Yeah, bummer.
If there's any consolation, everyone so far has gone slower than the previous round.
Well, it's probably not enough consolation really, Phil, but hey, you know, we've been trying a few different combinations, and the old data log has been telling us a few things and it's helping us, but we might be getting too old.
Welcome back to Meremere for the Jet Pro New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championship. This is the top 5, and this is Sam Udick and Nick McIndoe, and they are the pace setters.
Well, he did a 50.69. They've got a new engine combination finally in the Daewoo White Pointer Stinger. 50.6 in qualifying session 4, but Jaws dropped in the top 8 with a 49.585. The former Lights champ is on fire.
I asked him about that. I said, where did that come? He said he had no idea. Well, it probably came from precise driving, and that's what we're watching here. Once again, how close these guys are getting to clipping these islands.
28.34. That is quick at the split. He's a full 6/10 quicker than Baden Gray's best.
No, are we going to see another sub 50-second run here from Sam Udick?
Very concise lap, a lot tighter than, say, the likes of Andrew Guthrie. This is quick, Phil.
Oh, it is Nick McIndoe doing the job in the co-driver's seat, and Sam Udick goes straight to the top of the tree with a 49.641. 49.64, Sam, but I saw you talking to the crew there. You had some problems.
Yeah, just that coming out of the start chute and that first hairpin around Baldy, the mist just hit the screen and it just went blurry the whole way around. So I was just sort of picking out objects, and we got there in the end.
So this is Bevan Muir, and what that quick run of Sam Udick means is that Andrew Guthrie is no longer a contender. Is this man going to be a contender? He had a mare at Gisborne in round number 2. He'll be looking for redemption. Time to beat now the 50.812 of Reg and Julie Smith.
Now that is unusual to see Reg Smith sitting on the bump spot in the top 5 before we head to the 3. So Bevan Muir has been down in the 49s, a 49.5 in the top 8.
He's going to be down again because he's gone the wrong way. Look at Kathy Barker.
Well, he's having to correct it.
She's very animated in the cockpit, so it's happened twice. Lightning does strike twice.
What is it about Meremere and Bevan Muir? The split blows out to a 33.6. Reggie Smith will be sitting in the pits going, thank goodness for that.
Well, that's right. He's dodged a bullet. And Bevan Muir doing the sensible thing here. He's corrected his wrong way, and now he's going to post a time because you just never know.
Well, he still needs the points. He's down in the 54.5s.
Well, we do know, and that means Bevan Muir won't be going any further. That 54.5, probably 4 seconds off where he wanted to be, and that is the top runner, 49.6 for Sam Udick. It's finals time at round 3 of the Jet Pro New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championship. This is Scott Waterjet Group A, and first to go, it is Reg and Julie Smith. 2 seasons ago, second in the world in this class. Last year, third in New Zealand. He'd love to go 2 steps better on the podium. He's got to get through here to have any chance of doing that.
And after that run in the top 5, he'll be thanking his lucky stars that Bevan Muir made the mistake that he did, because I think Reggie was going to be looking on the outside trying to get in.
What's that saying? I'd rather be lucky than good. Certainly worked for Reggie.
Well, he certainly won in New Zealand's best. There's the split, 28.99, marginally quicker than his previous run in the top 5 by about a 1/10 and a half.
The other thing, I was talking to some of these guys in the break between racing, and they said they're combating not only the lowering water level, but the condition of the water. It's very muddy. There's lots of silt in it. That's hard on the jet unit. So they would have to adjust the boats to compensate for that as well. So there's a lot of thinking going in behind these runs.
50.394 for Reg Smith.
I'm getting a bit tired of getting third, though. We're only seconds and thirds. We've still got to get that, but get up there at that half a second, I think, mate. Yeah.
Phil, he made up half a second on his previous best, so he reckons he needs another half?
Well, he probably does. You've got the likes of Baden Gray and Sam Udick's been setting the tracks afire here at Meremere, so you've got to sort of weigh that into the conversation as well.
Yeah, well, Baden Gray's been down in that sort of 50.8 second bracket, so he's going to need to find a little bit of time here, but as Reg Smith said, it was more or less trying to make up that time on Sam Udick, who's just really flying here.
Well, I tell you what, I think there's a disease in 10 Tools Racing because he's gone wrong here.
Baden Gray making a correction. This is big for the final. This is going to help Reg Smith and certainly Sam Udick, because the split goes out to a 39.65, 10 seconds down on Reg Smith. A navigation error for Baden Gray.
Well, they must have squashed a spider in the pits, because it's not often that 2 of the top runners go out, but that's exactly what's going to happen here. He can bring it home as fast as ever. It ain't going to make a difference. You can't beat Father Time, and Baden Gray is going to be out of the final here at Meremere. Can you believe it? 2 of the top runners out.
Baden Gray, a 61.9.
Well, we mentioned before that Reg Smith can breathe again.
I think I did the same thing as Bev did. hard to believe. You go the right way all day. Just, you know, when you're pushing hard, that's what happens.
And that's the pressure, isn't it? You get to the business end of the day and just a small mistake, a little bit of a loss of concentration, and it bites you. And at Meremere, it bites you big. What can Sam Newdick do?
Well, he's been the only boat in the 49, so he's got some time up his sleeve. Obviously, this new engine combination is proving to be very, very quick. But just highlighting how difficult this rotation can be at Meremere. You've got something like 27 or 28 different corners and turns to try and remember with these rotations in jet sprinting.
That's right, and one of the things about the Auckland Club, they've prepared the venue so well, everything looks pretty much similar, so it's easy to get lost. We've seen that already.
27.84, he's half a second up on his previous best split. He is absolutely hauling the mail.
Well, we said that they'd be making adjustments, and whatever the adjustments that Sam Newdick and Nick McIndoe are making are working. This is going to be extremely fast.
Over 48.8.
What about that? Sam Newdick pulls one out of the mire. 48.868. He wins it.
I was hoping I was going to get there. Halfway around that rotation, I was thinking this is it. You know, I thought I had it towards that end sequence. So yeah, that's all I had, and it turned out to be it.
Well, with the demise of Simon Campbell, this is going to change things in the points, and it's Reg Smith now leading just by the skin of his teeth from Baden Gray. Simon Campbell still holds on to third, but he will drop down the order as we continue the rounds. Andrew Guthrie in fourth place, and then Richard Murray in fifth.